Alright, since the holidays is coming up, mind that we just do a comparison video of the 3 holiday films that is Loud House related. Oh boy, I am not looking forward to this, but I have to make this video anyway to share my own opinion. Now let's get this over with. Okay, the story of the live-action Loud House Christmas movie is that the Louds are doing their usual routine stuff for the holidays, and then, suddenly, their Christmas routine has changed and really haunted Loud House. The Louds were doing their usual routine as well, and then Lincoln and Clyde wants to go to the club instead of doing the spooktacular, and long story short, the Loud family gets into a war with the angry moms. Well, the story for the really Loud House Thanksgiving special, well, it was the most basic of the two, and there's nothing real interesting going on, well, except there are some conflict thrown in there. Well, I gotta say, all of these live-action Loud House holiday stuff are generic. Well, although I think the Christmas movie has the worst story out of the two, and I found the story in the really haunted Loud House a little bit better than the two. Okay, having a Plan B change is pretty understandable, but what I don't get is Lincoln's loud behavior. Lincoln was just so out of character. Okay, well, in the beginning of the film, they did get him right, but at the time when they have a change of plans, he just started acting like the Grinch version in this movie, and that kind of felt wrong. Well, me personally, when I was around Lincoln's age, I knew better but to be flexible and just accept the change. And even in my high school experience, I learned that even better, and that is just not a good yoke for the live-action Lincoln. Well, the really haunted Loud House did the same stuff with the Christmas movie, but I honestly found it better. Well, in the Christmas movie, Lincoln gets upset with the plans being changed, makes no sense to his character, to me. But in the really haunted Loud House, when Lincoln made a change to the plan, his 10 sisters just got upset, and I didn't mind it, because getting upset for the holiday changes, that is something that I expect from the Loud Sisters' personality, and I like that. And speaking of which, all of the actors, they just smoked it. Yeah, they just got the characters right in this movie. I'm not a big fan of the Power Rangers, by the way, but the acting in the really haunted Loud House, I thought it was great in this movie. Like, I just saw the live-action characters as the cartoon Loud family for the first time, and I was enjoying myself. Like, after watching this movie, I was so happy. Like, I thought the live-action Loud House will turn out to be better and more improved, but unfortunately, it turns out to be worse the more that you watch them, and the acting did not get any better in the Thanksgiving movie. Okay, so the movie with the superior story is the really haunted Loud House Halloween movie, the really Loud House Thanksgiving, and in last place, the Loud House Christmas movie. Yeah, things hasn't changed in the live-action Loud House Thanksgiving. Well, although, there's a guy named Patrick, and he was in the one really Loud House episode where he acted like such an asshole to Lori. So when Lori recognized him, and he's going to be Lenny's new love interest, I was a bit interested with the rivalry. But unfortunately, they did nothing with this conflict much, because this Thanksgiving special was only 22 minutes long. Well, if it was an hour long, just like the Really Haunted Loud House in the Christmas movie, then that could have been handled much better.
There's one test I didn't fail. I didn't kiss your mom. What?
Thank you!
Well, although there were a conflict between Loa and Lana's relationship in this special, but it was resolved pretty quickly, and it has no build-up. Okay, so what do I think of the characters from the live-action Loud House Christmas movie? Well, I actually did not like any of them, because the actors or any justice to the Loud siblings, but they did in Loud House Halloween movie. Like I said, these actors killed it with the Loud siblings' personality, and I was enjoying myself. I even liked the scene at the dentist when they show off their Loud siblings' personality, just like how the Loud siblings are in the cartoon. I was laughing my pants off at that scene. Okay, well, although they got the characters right, but that does not mean they are great. My least favorite character in the movie is Rita Loud. I did not like her at all in this movie. Well, in the beginning of the film, she feeded her kids some candy for dinner every day in October before Halloween, and as a result, they end up getting cavities, and this is why they're in the dentist in the first place. I mean, seriously, well, not only feeding the kids some candy is all that bad, she also replaced the candy with some toothbrush to give to the trick-or-treaters for no reason, and that is just not a parent thing to do. Man, sometimes I wonder how smart the Loud parents are with their parenting. Okay, well, step aside the bad character. Well, my personal favorite character in the movie was Lin Loud Sr. He has a whole character arc of becoming a werewolf. Well, at least he thought he was a werewolf, and his main goal is to help out his family by giving them the candy which they asked for. Like, he's just protecting the pack, like what werewolves do to their kids. Well, even he found out that he is not a werewolf after all, he still come out strong and ready to fight for his family. And also, the Loud sisters had more screen time in this movie. Well, in the first Loud House movie, well, the Loud sisters didn't do much in the whole entire film, but in the Really Haunted Loud House, they have did so much more, and that is such a improvement. And they even did the Michael Jackson expired musical numbers dance sequence, which it was the highlight of this movie. Well, I'm pretty sure you guys have saw this coming. The live-action Loud House holiday special movie with the far superior characters is the Really Haunted Loud House. Okay, the villain in the Really Haunted Loud House is a cool kid named Chandler, and I had a fan theory that he might be Chandler's cousin. Well, in the Thanksgiving movie, we have the mayor guy who likes to eat turkey. As for the Loud House Christmas movie, well, Lincoln Loud was kind of the villain in this movie, and we will get right on that later. Okay, well, I gotta say, Sander was a pretty entertaining villain. I mean, he tries to humiliate the Loud family in every way where he thinks is funny, and he looks intimidating where he tries to ruin the Loud family reputation for giving away toothbrushes, at least in my opinion, but his villainous motivation was pretty weak. I mean, the reason why and his buddies were attacking the Loud family's house because of Lincoln's loud doing, well, in the beginning of the film, Sander didn't really do anything wrong. He was just a cool kid that does not like going to the dentist, but then he got himself into Lincoln's plan, and then suddenly, he just turned sinister so quickly that I didn't realize that he is the main villain in this movie. Like, seriously, he just become bad for something that didn't even happen to him. God. Well, as for the villain in the live-action Loud House Thanksgiving, well, all he does is try to kidnap a turkey, and that's pretty much it. There's no understandable villainous motivation, or nothing, it was just generic. Okay, well, the Christmas movie, on the other hand, they just pretty much made Lincoln the bad guy in this movie, and I was so pissed. Well, his plans to offend his family from doing something else is using some fake sharkadile thing to show them that it is dangerous in Fordia, but yet everyone fall for that, even though this thing is clearly not real. Okay, I get it is a cartoon, but the live-action Loud House character should know better to fall for something fake like this. Okay, well, when he got caught, and when you think about it, this movie kind of ended with the bad guy winning. Well, I don't want to come out insensitive here, but the Loud parents and his sisters just forgiving Lincoln for what he done, that is just BS. And a cliche way to resolve the problem. Yoke, I know the Loud family are forgiving in the cartoon, but Yoke, Lincoln Loud has gone through a character development in the Netflix Loud House movie, and it was emotional and well-paced, and this is why I expected better from the live-action Lincoln. Yoke, as much I yiked how they did the characters in live action, they just didn't do good with the story compared to the cartoon, and that's really saying something. Well, even Lincoln has character arc in his second Loud House movie, and they even improve Lincoln's character development in the live-action Loud House Halloween movie as well. Well, he did something horrible in this movie as well, but at least he has a reason for that. And Lincoln now knows that he can't turn his back on family ever again, which that is a good note. Okay, even though Sander's villainous motivation just felt rushed, and his identity was embarrassing in this movie, at least he was intimidating enough for the Loud family to deal with. So the movie with the far superior villain, it's the really hunted Loud House. We don't need to talk about the action in the live-action Loud House Christmas movie and the Thanksgiving special, because both of these climax are just underwhelming. The action in the really hunted Loud House was actually entertaining, and it is so cartoony accurate. Although, I wish that the pacing of the action can go a bit faster, because the action in the cartoon version of the Loud House was faster and more effective. And the live-action Loud House does not have a luxury to speed things up a bit, which it was a shame. With all that, I thought the climactic scene was really good. It kind of reminded me of Avengers Endgame climax, with all of the heroes and villains having such a big battle. And I like how it ended with Lisa using her big brain to finish the fight. So yeah, the action in the really hunted Loud House is epic, and it came straight out of the cartoon Loud House, and without a doubt, I'm easily going to give this round to the really hunted Loud House. after watching the live-action Loud House Christmas movie for the first time, I was really disappointed. I just made a review on it and talk a lot of trash about this movie when I had my old channel. Well, I think that Nickelodeon The Really Haunted Loud House did impress me, and I really thought the live-action Loud House had potential now, but after watching Season 2 of the live-action Loud House, I just knew that it still sucked, and the improvement hasn't changed. The Thanksgiving special, just like I predicted, failed. And the only good thing that did come out of it is the relationship between Lana and Lola during this special. And on top of that, the Thanksgiving special of The Really Loud House was the final episode before the live-action Loud House got cancelled, and I was so relieved. So hopefully we don't see Dee's live-action version of the Loud family ever again, because I have gotten tired of them. But with that being said, The Really Haunted Loud House was my true live-action Loud House adaptation. They actually use reference from the shows to the Loud family character, right? Yeah, they just did something that is from the source material in their own way, and I thought they did pretty decently enough. Like, who knows? Maybe it could be one of these holiday movies that I have to watch every Halloween. So yeah, what I see here, it seems like they tried their best with the Halloween movie. But alright, it's time for the scores. The Really Haunted Loud House gets a 6 out of 10, and The Really Loud Thanksgiving, the Gobble Squabble, the Bracelet, gets a freaking 4. A Loud House Christmas movie gets an unforgiven 0 out of 10. Well, as you know, this is just my opinion, so if you disagree, then let me know which live-action Loud House do you prefer and why. And if you're looking for a good live-action Loud House stuff for your kids to experience, then I would highly recommend A Really Haunted Loud House. Okay, so if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys next time.